Hello and welcome to this late morning taste challenge. We have two bourbon whiskeys. This one here on my right hand is Jesse James, America's Outlaw Bourbon Whiskey. This whiskey is at least 24 months old. It's bottled in California by Jesse James Distilling Company, American Outlaw Spirits. I'll put the link below. It's jessejamesdupree.com, really, but it says since 1882, established 1882. Yeah, right. 2011. That's 1882 is when Jesse James was murdered. Okay, but that's got no, that holds no interest to me, or it has no offense to me either. I just, it's a marketing thing. It doesn't bother me, really. This guy, he sells all kind of apparel, things like cup holders, you know what I mean, like different glassware, hats, and then he has a line of whiskey. This bourbon, but he has the thing he's listed on the website, and most of the videos I've seen are for the 3-year age. This is a 2-year age, oddly. Then he has a Tennessee whiskey small batch, a spiced whiskey, flavored liqueur, and a honey liqueur, whiskey liqueur. Okay, this one, I don't know where it's made. It just said bourbon whiskey, which means it could be coming from any state and is almost assuredly a blend of whiskeys from different states. It's not considered straight bourbon on the label. It's just bourbon. Straight bourbon has to be aged at least 2 years. This one is in new charred oak barrels. This one is from a single state. This one doesn't say that. It just says bourbon whiskey. So I think that's the issue. They might be using a blend of Indiana, Kentucky, and maybe Missouri whiskey or something like that. Okay, doesn't really matter. You know, if it tastes good, that's what matters. And, it tastes pretty good. It's got some condensation on the side of the neck. I paid $7.99 for a liter. Crazy, huh? Now, most of the stores, if you do an online search, are selling it for $20, $18 to $20 for $7.50. 18 to 20 for $7.50. I paid $7.99 for a liter. The greatest bourbon whiskey deal in the world. All right, it's very dark, amber, almost copper. It is copper. It's a copper appearance. You say they're adding caramel color. You're wrong. It is illegal to add caramel color to bourbon or straight bourbon. If it's blended bourbon, oh, that's a different story. But this is not that. This is not blended bourbon or bourbon a blend. That's a separate class. Even though it might have a blend of different bourbons, it's not called blended bourbon. But that's another story. And we can't go in. I mean, we could go into it, but we're not. Okay, so that's going to be the control group. I've got 2 right and 1 wrong so far. 2 right, 1 wrong. I think that's my record. Here's a competitor. Larceny, John E. Fitzgerald Larceny, established 1870. Yeah, we're in 2012, but the Fitzgerald. Well, these things are sort of like I wouldn't pay much attention to the date in many cases. The actual product hit the market in 2012, 10 long years ago. There's also a barrel proof, and there is a Old Fitzgerald bottled in bond. This runs about $26 to $28. Okay, so you might find it for $28, but my friend David saw it on sale for $13, half price. He bought it and gave me a bottle as a gift. Thank you, David. He liked it a lot. Now, this is interesting because rye is not the second ingredient after corn. Bourbon has to be mostly corn. It's wheat. So it's what they call a wheated bourbon. %46 alcohol versus 40%, 92 proof versus 80. So is that going to make a difference? I think it probably will. It says very special small batch. Now, question, is there a large batch larceny? No, actually there is not. It's funny, huh? Okay, there's only the small batch, the barrel proof, and the Old Fitzgerald that they list on a website. Now, you know as well as I do probably that a lot of these companies, they say this is what we make, and then there's 4 others that they don't mention that they also make. It's got a real hunk of cork. It's not just rubber. It's not a twist cap. It's not press board particle. Resin glued together cork. It's an actual chunk of cork, which is a nice touch. Mathern's has it, like I said, $26, $28. Total Wine and More, you might save $1, $25, which would be worth it if you lived in Metairie, Louisiana, where it's located here, or in southeastern Baton Rouge. But if you got to drive over 10 miles, well, just buy what's in your town because you're not saving anything. You're wasting money to save money. Okay. So you can read the whole hype story about the guys supposedly stealing the whiskey out the warehouse and all of that stuff. And then this is about Jesse James, and it's the same old thing. White cap, twist cap. This is a private, independent bottling. It's not made by Jesse James Dupree. He does not own a distillery. He does not own a rick house. He does not have a master blender. Like many people in companies, he's paying a producer to make the product according to his guidelines. Like we were talking last night on Joker's Wild Wednesday about this Steve Austin beer line, a lager and an ale. And one person said, well, what does that mean? Made according to his specifications. He's not over there producing it. And I said, wait a minute. We know that. It's contract. It's contract by El Segundo Beer Company, Brewing Company. But he's telling them, okay, I'm going to pay you this. You didn't make a deal, I'll pay you this much and you produce it for me. And I want the ale to taste like this and have these characteristics, and I want the lager to taste like this and have these characteristics. So that's what it means. He did develop it in that sense, like Iron Maiden with their Trooper, Robinson's Trooper ales. That rock band does not have that heavy metal, not really that heavy, but that heavy metal band does not have their own brewery. They just paying somebody. It's not, some people have a conniption fit over that. Like, it's wrong. It's not wrong. People do it all the time. They're both copper. Not to mention that, it's not wrong because it's common and these companies do it and people are well aware of it. Food products, They used to make Howard Johnson's frozen breakfast. Everybody knew Howard Johnson's hotel company didn't have a whole, a breakfast production facility, frozen breakfast. And it would say licensed by Howard Johnson Hotels for and restaurants for, but whatever. Like the Chi-Chi's bottled, ready to drink margarita mix products and other products. Everybody knows that Chi-Chi's restaurant chain does not have their own distillery. Margaritaville, that's the best example. Margaritaville beer and liquor. You know as well as I do, Jimmy Buffett doesn't have his own beer and wine and his own brewery, his own winery, and his own distillery. You know that. But anyway, I'm preaching to the choir because most of the viewers are intelligent enough to realize that. It's a common practice. Great value Walmart brands. Walmart has no production facilities, but they pay people to make the products. Trader Joe's, Aldi's. Okay, all right, enough of that. I've exhausted it. But some people are funny about it, That's why I keep harping on it, because they'll be like, that's a trick. It's a lie. It's neither a trick nor a lie. And as far as these companies like Heaven Hill making assumed names like Fitzgerald Distillery, which they bought. I really just bought the name. It's not well, maybe it's deceptive in some sense, but it's not a fraud because you could look under the Tax and Trade Bureau website and they'll give you a list of every distillery company and all their what they call assumed names, like Sazerac, Parrot Bay. You say, "Oh, I love Parrot Bay rum. They do a great job." Yeah, well, Parrot Bay ain't they. Parrot Bay is a title. It's Sazerac. And half the rum and vodka in those mixes is not from them anyway. It's just procured by them. But although Sazerac does own their own distilleries in Glenmore and Owensboro, Kentucky, Bardstown, 1792 distillery, Buffalo Trace, the Montreal distillery, and so forth. But still, they have assumed names. Ancient Age Distilling, Frankfort, Kentucky. Yeah, sure. Wrong. It's Buffalo Trace, which is it in itself is an assumed name because Buffalo Trace is owned by Sazerac. You say, yeah, but 99% of consumers don't even care about all that stuff. They think Old Fitzgerald makes their own products. It's a real company with its own team and everything. They're happy with that. Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that. They believe it, think it. There's no problem with that. They think the Schlitz Brewing Company is a real brewing company. It was until 1982. It ain't now. It ain't now. Okay, this smells very nice. It's like mild, mellow. It has some wheat bread characteristics, which make me think it's the Larceny. Get it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. A wheated bourbon. Do I like wheated bourbon? I do like them. I don't think I have any particular attachment to them, but I never had one that I thought was bad. This one seemed lighter, but tough. It's tough. How long is the Larceny Small Batch aged? Well, we don't really know. The bottle does not indicate that. There might have been some video I saw from the company that was saying a range. A lot of times they'll give a range. If it's not listed here, I know I didn't hear it. It's just some belief in my head. Let's see, Larceny. Larceny. No, there's no age. We don't know the age. If somebody tells you, I know the age, you need to ask them, where's your source? If their answer is, I know a guy that works in the distillery, that ain't a source. And I get this from people from time to time, pretty regularly, actually. Oh, that beer's recipe changed. I said, it did? I didn't hear that. Oh, yeah. I said, well, how do you know that? Oh, I've worked in the industry for years. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but how does that germane to the question I asked you? I asked you, what is your source? If you can't give a source or you refuse to give a source, then you don't have a source. Seems kind of strong. You say, you mean 92 proof strong? Yeah, kind of like that. I'm picking up a little wheat bread. I like wheat bread. I like wheat. I eat Wheaties if, well, somebody gives them to me, they're overpriced. I know about Phyllis Wheatley, you know. Kind of has a, this one here, the second sip has a strong charred oak. A person might say, oh, it's only 2 years aged. Aged 2 years, 24 months. How can it have a charred oak flavor? Well, that's the interesting point of it, because all the oak and the darkness from the charred oak and the charcoal and all that comes right into the bourbon as soon as they pour it in the barrel. The aging doesn't really draw out more color or darkness or that. It just mellows it out. So it really is dependent upon the thickness of the chard. They got the number one char, number two, number three, and then the fourth strongest, actually the strongest, it declines down to one, which is lightly charred. Four is heavily charred. They call it alligator char because it's so rumpled. It's like the back of an alligator. You know, you see the logs when they start breaking down in like little squares, and it's the embers in the fire. You know, it's so pretty to look at. So it's kind of like that. So you say, well, that's like a shortcut. They're using number 4 char, but aging it only 2 years. And, okay, maybe it is, but they're not adding, you know, charcoal flavoring or something like that, or dark coloring. It's naturally that way. And the price I got, and you know, and all of that. All those dramatics. Oh, well, price, Larceny going to cost you around $7 more per bottle, 8 maybe. $7 or $8 more per bottle. Okay, one's wheated, one's not, one's 92 proof, one's only 80, one's aged some indeterminate time, but at least 4 years, we know that by the process of elimination. The other one's aged 2 years, although most people can find a 3-year age, not the 2-year these days. Bottom line, which one tastes better? You know, I'm not really saying that one tastes better than the other. If you want less char, maybe a little more caramel type aspect, the wheat bread, not white wheat, dark, you know, the regular wheat bread. And a little stronger proof, which I'm not ever looking for, but some people do. Yeah, Larceny could be fine. It is fine. Do I have any negatives? Any negative things to say about Larceny? Honestly, I don't. I think it's fine. Is there some great product that I just brag about here today and tomorrow and forever? No. But most products aren't that way anyhow. So, yeah, it's nice. I'd recommend it. I'd buy it. I'd drink it. I don't drink bourbon or liquor or whiskey or any kind of hard liquor, actually. I don't drink them. You might say, well, you got 1,000 videos. But, yeah, but those are taste challenges. Those are done for specific reasons. Plus the reviews, solo reviews, and duo reviews. But to say drink liquor, no. I don't really like it, you know, but I mean, I'll taste it no more than 365 days a year, but I will taste it, to be fair, you know, to give it a good scientific coverage. It's got some nougat. This one has nougat, like you get in a Three Musketeers bar. And and the Charleston Chew, which seemed like it was going to pull all my teeth out. I ate a Charleston Chew. Besides the extreme sugar content, which almost made me go into a coma, it almost pulled all my teeth out. Well, it was interesting to eat. It was huge, and it was $1. Well, I've never been to Charleston. I've never been to Spain. But I hear the girls. All right, now let's go. This is the and I kind of like the Beatles. All right, I think this is the Jesse James. I got it. Yeah, 3 out of 4 correct. This is turning out okay after the fiasco that we had with the rye whiskeys. Okay, so 3 wins, 1 loss. It's not a perfect record, obviously. 75% correct. I can't complain. Now, what's going to happen when we go up against George Dickel, Cascade Hollow, and George Dickel number 12? Well, that could be tough. Could be tough. But I don't think it's going to be too tough because George Dickel is a weird tasting product. Their products taste like Flintstone vitamins. You say Flintstone vitamins, you've gone mad. Look, the doctor told me you're so sane that you're insane. So pay no mind to that. I just find that it tastes like Flintstone vitamin. And to check myself, I was looking at some written reviews from years ago, 2 years ago, and a number of people on distiller.com and on Google and the right reviews, they were saying, man, what's up with this stuff? It tastes like Flintstone vitamins. And I was like, aha, it wasn't just me. And it was a number of people, like 3, 4, 5 people. Craig Swinson. Oh, Craig in New England. Off topic. I know you prefer rock and roll. Well, it's only rock and roll, but I like it. But do you enjoy any country music? I'm just curious. Thanks. A little bit of it. Like crawfish pie, filet gumbo, they're like Hank Williams and all that Jolene and you say, but that ain't country music. That's country crossover. That's pop country, Southern Nights and all. That's true. Because it's made in the city, not out in the country. Anyhow. Country music. Yes, I do. I like Zydeco and Acadian music, which I listen to on Sundays, especially for the Acadian music show, which is not commercial, but I like it. And it's definitely from the country, from Mamu Opelousas. Those types of places. So yeah, I guess I do. I listen to it on WWOZ 90.7 FM Sunday afternoon, late morning afternoon. Check it out. They have a website where they do live broadcasts. Do you listen to any modern music? I listen to some modern music. Like Adele had a new album out. It was, from what I heard, was fine. I used to like Amy Winehouse. I hated Oasis. Terrible, horrible. People said they were popular. They weren't popular in the United States. I never knew two people that knew about them. No one cared about them in the United States. So, but in England, they cried about. I'd have cried too if I had to listen to it. All right. Anyway, best drinking song, "Whiskey in the Jar" by Metallica. Oh, you mean by not Metallica? By Thin Lizzy. What is the heaviest band you like? It's the heaviest band that everybody likes, Black Sabbath. Nobody made a heavier song than Sabbath Bloody Sabbath 1973 with the heaviest riff ever. Thank you. Yeah, Thin Lizzy. But people are jealous, you know. They're jealous because they could never. Well, who could recreate that? That's not going to. Like when you listen to that, you say, well, nope, ain't going to get heavier than that. No, that's pretty much true. Now, people will try to dance around and say, well, mine is more evil. Okay, yeah, it's evil. Sure. Okay, but you know what I mean. But say mine's faster. Really? Faster than Symptom of the Universe? Okay. It's probably faster than the Queen, you know, Blaming on the Rain. From sheer heart attack. All right. Anyway, but I'm not jealous of music. All right. Yeah, Thin Lizzy. Okay. I'm gonna go listen to the Cowboy song. Slayer is heavier than Black Sabbath. That's like saying a feather is heavier than a brick. Stone cold crazy, right? So okay, FD. So a feather is heavier than a brick. If you don't know Black Sabbath, you don't know heavy. And if you don't know Jorma, if you don't know Yorma, you don't know Jack. All right, but I'm gonna get out of here. So I'm gonna get out of here. But could you tell these two apart? Oh, you're welcome, Craig. Stone cold crazy. All right, but people are jealous of Queen. You know, there's a lot of jealousy in the world. But they may not be jealous in hot space. But you know, but anyway, but we all make mistakes in our lives. But anyway, yes, I could tell Jesse James from Larceny, but it wasn't as easy as I was hoping it would be. But it was still, you know, I was able to tell them apart. Now, the Dickel, yeah, that's going to be a throwaway video. If you want to save time and not watch them, I wouldn't take offense. If I only have 1 or 2 views, I won't care, because I just think the Dickel is too Flintstone vitamin. Now, when I bring in the Sazerac brands like Ancient Age or Stedman Select, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be tough. I think the Ancient Age 90 proof. Yeah, I don't know. Sazerac has kind of a house style, so I'm a little concerned about it. But once we finish with the bourbon, and I got a lot left, so it's not going to be quick. But once we finish with that, then we've got blended whiskey. People say, "Oh no, not blended whiskey. That's not real whiskey." No, it's not. Okay, well, okay. It's real whiskey, but it just may not be real whiskey that you want to drink. But it's real whiskey, and I have a lot of it. And but I'm going to bring back Royale Club. I bought some on a road trip. Royale Club. I bought it like a walking distance from Texas. Like literally, I could walk from the liquor store to Texas in 15 seconds. You say, how can you walk from a liquor store in Arkansas to Texas in 15 seconds? Where were you? Texarkana? I was in Texarkana. I really was at a liquor store in Texarkana.